Hello, Slytherin girlies and general savagery practitioners. Yes, you read that right. The theme of today's video is salsa dancing, and particularly the men that elect to take part in it, along with my savage, unadulterated thoughts and take on the matter, which is what you came here for, right? So let's get into it. Now, before we start, let me just preface by saying that this is going to be a very tongue-in-cheek take on things from me as per usual. I'm coming at this topic from the perspective of like modern day dating, okay? I was going to say dating in the West, but I'm also kind of including places like Tokyo and Dubai and stuff. So we'll just say dating in any modernized, westernized to a certain extent city. So please don't take this personally if you are like some salsa dancing grandmaster champion out there in your hometown, or you just happen to be passionate about Latin dance, the Latin dances in particular, or if you're actually living in a Latin country, you know, Cuba or Colombia, the Dominican Republic, somewhere like that, where salsa dancing is actually part of like the local culture. By the way, I've never been to those countries before, so I don't want to make any assumptions, but you know what I mean? Like basically the countries that are considered the actual birthplaces of salsa or bachata or whatever. That's a different story. That would be just like you taking part in your cultural heritage or the local culture. I'm not talking about that. By the way, if you do reside in any of those places, I'd love to hear your take on this. Maybe after you hear out the rest of the video, please leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I will be sure to acknowledge and reply to you as long as you are respectful and reasonable. But yeah, so I am talking about this phenomenon that I've noticed lately, and maybe it's always been a thing, I just haven't noticed it until this year when I started to go on a lot more dates with all different types of guys from different walks of life. But I noticed that salsa dancing seems to be quite a popular pastime with, I want to say, about 30% of the guys I've been out on dates with. They've either at least mentioned it once in passing, or they do it recreationally, like at parties and stuff, or participate in regular classes of some sort. One guy I knew was really into it and went to these more advanced classes every weekend, pretty much. And even as he was moving countries, he told me about how he immediately joined, you know, the local salsa dance club or class as soon as he touched down in the new country. So it was just interesting to me how salsa dancing was important enough to him to prioritize even when relocating to a completely different country. However, learning the language of that new country was not as big of a priority, apparently. But that's neither here nor there. And then today, out of the blue, this other guy that had never mentioned salsa dancing to me on our dates or anything just texted me asking if I've ever tried salsa dancing before. He was responding to just like a cute picture of my outfit or whatever that I had posted on stories. And so, yeah, the conversation that came out of that is what inspired this video actually. So he basically just like texts me from time to time, usually with something flirty, but like appropriate flirting, which is one of the reasons why I still entertain him. But anyway, he was basically like, you know, you should try it because you have the hips, you know, you have the figure for salsa dancing, and also the people who go to salsa events are really sociable and fun. Like you would have so much fun. So I'm like, oh yeah, I've never tried it. He's like, you have to, you gotta try it. It's so much fun. And then I'm like, you know what? I do pole dancing. So basically, like, that's all I wrote. I don't offer that information up to just any guy I meet, by the way. Like, if I'm not even feeling them in the first place, or I sense that they're too, you know, they're like immature or something to the point that they're going to be thirsty about it and acting weird to me after I tell them, then I'd rather not say it, right? But I mentioned it to this guy because he's more mature. And so, yeah, I'm basically saying to him that, hey, I'm a pole dance girl, not a salsa slash bachata girl. And he is smart enough to read between those lines, I believe. So that's why I left it at that. And I hope you all can read between those lines too, ladies, because honestly, I don't want this video to be super long with me spelling everything out from A to Z. But if you're not getting my drift, okay, let me explain briefly. Let me just throw some general big sister Slytherin advice out there. I think dance is great, right? I think it's an amazing avenue through which women can express their femininity. Moving your body will literally put you in your feminine energy, and if you do it for a while, you can really achieve that beautiful flow state with ease. quicker and quicker each time. And women who dance tend to have more of a sway to their hips, like that very, feminine rhythm to the way they just walk around in the world. It really does add so much mystique and grace to you, and it can only help you in your dating journey in particular, since that's what we're talking about here, but also just in life in general, right? It just makes you more in tune with your feminine energy. But what I suggest, right, which should come as no surprise to you all, if you're looking into some form of dance just as, a hobby or for exercise benefits and whatnot, pick a more seductive, dark, feminine arts type of dance, okay? Or something highfalutin like ballet, something expensive if you have the means to do that. So, pole dance, belly dancing, sexy chair dance, tribal fusion, whatever variation on those. Or even like the more acrobatic stuff. I don't know what it's called exactly, where they hang from the aerial hoops and the ribbons and whatnot. Even twerk to some extent. Like, it's fine to throw a little ratchet in here and there. I was into twerk for a while, a few years back. The OG watchers of this channel know. I'm not done with it per se, but I find that overall, the quote unquote privilege that comes with being able to say to people that I do pole dance as a hobby is much, much better than if I just say twerk. Because, like, first of all, everyone twerks, everyone can twerk in their living room. And also, that tends to attract the more lower quality guys. But if you say pole dance, it's kind of like sexy and classy at the same time. And I can still add twerk moves into pole dance routines if I want to. So I get to have it all if I just make pole dance my main thing. But yeah, like, to men, pole dancing is an unattainable thing, right? Or it's not easily attainable. Why? Because usually men have to pay in order to get into a strip club to watch that type of performance in real life. So, yeah, in more savage terms, pick a dance form that men have historically had to pay money, like a lot of it, to be able to enjoy. That is what you should go for as a high value woman, essentially, in my savage, dark, feminine opinion. Like, you can tell a man that you do pole dance or burlesque, chair dance, or whatever to tantalize his mind a little bit. But if he actually wants to see that with his own two naked eyes, he would have to go to a special designated enclosed space, the strip club or the burlesque theater. These shows are usually very expensive depending on the quality of the dancers that they have, and they don't allow like photos or filming or anything. It's a very exclusive experience. Okay, and men know that. And even if you're not doing these dances with the intent of like performing on an actual stage somewhere, even if you're doing it as just a light hobby, it still connotates that level of exclusivity and high class to the man. I mean, they literally call strip clubs gentlemen's clubs, right? So, long story short, and getting back to the topic, yeah, do not accept your date's invitation to go salsa dancing with him, no matter how much he claims that it's going to be fun or that it's just a way to let loose, etc. This brings me to the overall point that I wanted to make in this video, which is that I believe salsa dancing is a dusty man's activity. Yep, I said what I said. It is where dusty men go who either don't have any opportunity to meet women in their day to day lives, or they just don't have any game, so they decide to go to a salsa class because they heard from their buddy, their womanizer buddy, that women like it when a man can dance. Women like the smooth moves, which is a pick Misha preference, to be honest with you. Like, to me, being able to dance for a man is so out of the realm of what I'm looking for when I talk about the necessities of, choosing a future partner. Like, can he provide? Can he buy me a house and a car and take care of our family? Can he build generational wealth? Like, being able to dance is not on the list at all. If anything, it's just like one of those things that I happen to find out or realize one day that he can do a 1-2 step. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. That's cool. But it's definitely just not important. It's irrelevant to what a man brings to the table. The only situation in which it would be acceptable is if that person is an actual dance prodigy and they make their living that way, and they make a good enough living to provide you with the standard of living that you desire. And also, like, I'm the one that's going to be doing the majority of the dancing anyway in my relationship, and he's going to have to pay to get me off the pole eventually. No, I'm kidding. But no, really, like, you want the mentality. You want a man that has the mentality and understanding that watching women dance is a privilege and a pleasure that is not free in this world, okay? It's a price. There is a price that one must pay for it. Quality men know this, okay? Trust and believe. High quality men who seek high quality life experiences know this well. They'll take it if it's being offered up for free somewhere, but they are willing to pay for the high quality exclusive experiences in every aspect of life. And it's not necessarily just monetary. Like, think about this in a symbolic perspective too. So, for example, if I were to marry someone in the future, my pole dancing hobby would take the form of like, okay, he's going to be able to see and enjoy that at home. He's going to be privy to the exclusive shows that I give for him alone, up close and personal, right? After he's come home from a long, hard day of work, earning money so that our family can survive and thrive. So, his reward for that, part of his reward for being my amazing husband who protects and provides for me, right, is that he gets to have a private show at home sometimes, and that I'm not going to be out there busting it open for any other random men. But yeah, so guys that like to go to salsa dancing or bachata, what have you, as a hobby, as a social event, they are trying to take the cheap, easy way out. For the very low price of a dance lesson fee, they get to talk and interact with and have extensive physical contact with lots of attractive women, okay? Bask in their feminine essence, their smell, everything, without even having to pay like the surcharge for your average gentleman's club, which is way more than what a beginner's salsa dance class costs for the general public. And I don't care whatever disclaimer the instructors give or like how strict the class is in regulating, like telling people to not engage in inappropriate flirting or to only do the respectful touching that is necessary for the dance moves. The guys are there to cop a feel, point blank, period. Okay? I mean, just look at the picture that I have up for the thumbnail. Salsa is a very sensual, contact heavy dance between the sexes. You think I'm gonna let some random men, like not even just one, don't they make you change partners a bunch of times? So you think I'm gonna drag my ass, my perky ass on a train, pay for the train fare, pay for the salsa outfit or whatever, the shoes, pay for the lesson fee, and then walk up in there with my extreme hourglass body shape? Not to toot my own horn or anything, but this is my literal body shape right here. This is me. I have a pronounced hourglass shape, especially if I'm on top of my intermittent fasting. This is very desirable to the majority of men. I'm just keeping it real. So, how does that make sense that I would pay my own money and spend my time and energy to walk up into a salsa class so that I can basically just offer myself up, offer all my feminine energy and curves and everything for free to these dusty men? Not even for free, because at this point I'm in a deficit, remember, for my time, energy, and money. So have all these dusties line up and take their turn pressing all up against me, pawing at my waist and legs with their sweaty palms. They're not even cute, probably. Like, I guarantee you, they're not cute, the majority of them. That doesn't make any type of sense whatsoever. And every man out there knows this, okay? Talking about some let's go to a salsa class. Yeah, okay, when you buy me my Porsche, maybe. Anyway. Oh, by the way, that guy responded to me later on in the day. He was like, "Oh, wow, pole dance. That's great for like building core muscle strength and personal development, blah blah." Personal development? No, what did he say? Personal experience, I think is what he said. But he continues on, "You need to spice it up sometimes though, with the salsa." So then I reply, "I don't give away my spice for free," winky face. And then he's like, "You know what? That's smart." Which, that was a test by him, okay? I'm not saying that he tested me intentionally, but this is one of the many, many ways that men will test you, whether subconsciously or consciously, to see what type of woman you are. And I made it loud and clear to him that I'm a pole dance girl, not a salsa girl. And you see how he liked my response? You see how he reacted favorably to it, even though he was trying to convince me all day that I should give the salsa dance lessons a chance? That's because he is, from what I've seen so far at least, a man who's in a healthy state of mind. He recognizes that this is a high value state of mind for me to be in as a woman, that I don't wish to participate in salsa classes. And as a healthy man, he likes that I have standards and boundaries like that for myself. And that's why, again, I don't mind keeping in contact with this particular guy. I quite enjoy our banter, actually. He doesn't get like triggered and offended like the other guys do sometimes when they present me with the same kind of test, but then when I answer in a way that makes it clear that I'm a woman who's probably out of their league, then they get upset, right? But yeah. Have you ever heard a billionaire say that his hobby is salsa dancing? No, I didn't think so. I rest my case, okay? Salsa dancing is for dusty men, period. And it's so funny. So, even the guy that I'm talking to, because I'm aware you could troll me for this story and say that, well, Ren, if you claim that salsa dancing men are dusties, then aren't you talking with a dusty if he's trying to convince you to take salsa classes? See, he doesn't salsa dance anymore, okay? That's the point. Because he's too busy now with all his various businesses that make money so that he can continue taking me out to nice places for our dates, okay? So, boom. Nice try, but no cigar. Okay, I think I've said everything I wanted to say about this topic. I don't want to hear the word salsa again unless it's referring to a condiment for my chips. Thank you so much for watching. Stay savage, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.